This video will showcase the operating steps and tools required to make magazine springs for Nerf blasters using the spring maker tool sold on my web store. You'll need the assembled spring maker, flat nose pliers, a wire cutter, and an 2.5mm Allen key. It is important to note that the tool only serves to help speed up the repeated central portion of the spring making and does not help with crafting any specific terminating ends due to the many different styles of magazines. Besides the tools, you need the raw wire stock to craft with. Here I'm using 0.6mm manganese steel wire, as it has better work hardening characteristics than spring steel or high carbon steel. The spring maker can accommodate wire sizes of 0.4 to 0.8mm with adjustable bend angles to accommodate the different thicknesses and material characteristics of your chosen material. Now to go through the spring maker. This is what I call the spring maker base. It has the wire straightener section, a wire clamp, and a wire guide. The tool heads are hot swappable. You can swap between two heads easily. The tool head has the wire guide that goes through, and also the bending arm that bends the wire. Over in the bending section, there is a screw here that serves to adjust the maximum bend angle your arm can swing. So depending on the type of wire you use and the thickness of that wire, you can change the bend angle to make that perfect right angle bend, or as close to in your when crafting your springs. So to demonstrate, I'll just make it such that it has the least bend radius later on when making the spring. Now to set the wire straightener. There are two screws. One is a thumb screw and one is a fixed screw that you can adjust with Allen key. To loosen and to quickly loosen or tighten the straightener, you can use this thumb screw, and it opens it and everything becomes loose. First, you want to push the wire For now, this wire has this bend radius, so I'm going to demonstrate the straightener by first pushing the wire in while it's relatively loose, and tighten it down until you feel that you cannot push it easily anymore, and you can loosen it a bit or tighten to your preference. So for here, I'm just going to push it through to demonstrate see, it becomes straight. Over here it's curved. Here it's straighter. Now the tighter you clamp the wire straightener, the straighter it will become, but then there'll be a point where you cannot really push it anymore. So you just have to choose the balance, choose the amount you want. This is the wire clamp. Once you clamp it down and you bend it, this will not move forward or backwards. release the clamp it down, and does not move anymore. Now to install the head, you just have to push it in straight down. Now the head, this particular head is 38 by 10 millimeters, whereas this one is 70 by 10. 38 when you reach the end, and 10 when you just about touch this corner. This is 38, this is 10, this is 70, this is 10. So first you want to push the wire all the way through. Ensure that this is away from you. When you use the tool, use it this direction. Clamp it and bend radius. Push the spring upwards away from you and push it to the 10. So the first bend was 38, the second bend will be 10 until you reach the edge of that. Clamp it. Ensure that the spring is up against this guide. This ensures that there is an angle between bends. Push it forwards, unclamp it, push it forwards to the 38 mark again. Clamp it, ensure that it's against the guide, and bend it. Over here you can see that it's slightly over bent. But then fear not, later when you compress it, you can just bend it to the right angle again. Push the spring upwards. Push the spring in to the 10 mark again. Clamp it, bend it. Now I'm going to speed up. Now there is a particular characteristics depending on how your wire stock comes in. If it comes in a coil, as you bend your springs and turn it, this one you try to turn and twist. So you have to twist it back and find a position where you can work comfortably. Still. Okay, I'm going to end here. Spring is slightly over twisted, but when you compress it, it will. Let me push this out, this wire out. And cut it. Preferably you want to cut it further out so you can bend it to you can terminate it to your preference. Now I have this spring, this brand new crafted spring is slightly twisted, but it is even. Do not try to straighten it right now. You want to compress it and then slowly release it to find the final shape that it becomes. So you see, then afterwards you bend it straight, straighten it up. So you see which sides you want to bend and just bend it that way. And you have a straight spring. When you compress it and you release it, it remains relatively straight. And then at the end, you have to figure out what you want how you want to terminate it to suit Talon style or other style of magazines, 3D printed magazines. For the other end, you could have also made it longer and then terminate it flat, like this, like a flat spring, and bend the other side. Yep. Then now to demonstrate the 70 by 10 tool head. Similarly to this, it's also about pushing it to the end, 70 millimeters, clamping it, bend it. Now it's over bent, so you need to adjust the screw such that it will make the bend angle more shallow, less acute. Next to be 10. Next 70. See now, the bend angle is not as steep as earlier. You can't really tell right now. Also, the bend radius, the angle that the spring wire stock goes into the wire straightener and out to the tool is very important to keep it consistent. If the if you start like this and suddenly the wire twists and turns and ends up this direction, you may find that the wire may turn in the opposite direction. For example, like this, where when everything is turning a spiral in one direction, suddenly there's a turn in the other spiral. The other direction is mainly due to the wire stock flipping direction. So you might want to take note of this as well when you do your wires, when you make your springs. So I'll continue making the 70 by 10. So you can tell that the very first bend angle versus the subsequent bend angles, the first one is a lot sharper and steeper. That was before I adjusted the adjustment screw to adjust the bend angle. So depending on what your wire and your needs, you just adjust that screw such that you bend towards a more right angle and straighter wire. But the end result will likely be slightly twisted. Doing the same method as before, you compress it such that you let the wire settle. You expand it, and you see how twisted it remains. So you see the initial bend was quite crooked, whereas the subsequent one is straighter. So you just need to, whatever results you get after compressing, you just bend it by hand. And you get your final spring.